Good morning from Chicago, the risk management capital of the world. I'm Alan Nuckman here at the CME Group with the Morning Market Stir for Friday, September the 23rd. Stocks surged yesterday, higher open, gapped, and then traded sideways essentially all session. But new record highs in the NDX. The NDX has gone 5% straight up in just the last few sessions, now leading the way out of the big three stock indexes. The S&P added 12 points, still about that same distance from the all-time highs. Let's remember that was August 15th, so it has been over a month in the broad market. And the Dow is still lagging behind, up about 5% on the year. Closing yesterday up about 80 points, so still a little bit of work to do, but back inside that 18,300 to 18,600 channel. Like I said, some work to do to get up to that tip-top peak. Action was seen in the dollar. The dollar went below 95, printed 94, 95 on low session, and the euro currency did get a boost very close to that 113, so that can be supportive for a lot of asset markets. We're seeing interest rates, rate prices go higher and the yields go lower after this action we've seen here recently. So that's the summary from yesterday. The big action was in the VIX. The VIX went down to the $12 level. That was the base before that big explosion that we saw a week and a half ago or so. So we've returned back down, and all of the air has come out of that volatility market, and it's back down to the base, that $12 support point that oftentimes has seen a bounce from there. So after yesterday's mixed market action and a little bit of a surge in the stock market, where do things stand here on this Friday morning, end of trading week? Relatively unchanged. I've got the S&P right now down 1 point, the Nasdaq's down 3, and the Dow futures are down about 15. The dollar steady, the euro steady, crude oil steady, and gold is steady. So we'll have to look to see how the week finishes out. But to summarize where we stand, the stock market surged this week, some solid follow through on the positive action in tech last week. We're seeing about a 1.5% gain across the board in stocks. Stocks that I'm paying attention to, Twitter's down 4%. Had the Thursday night football game last night, but obviously the market's not that optimistic after that. And we're seeing Facebook down 2%, as it looks like their measurement for ad viewership needed to be tweaked, and they had to let their advertisers know that those numbers were wrong over the last couple of years. So again, to summarize where we're at here, Friday morning, right now we've got the S&P futures down 1.5, the Nasdaq futures down 3, and the Dow down 15. The debate is the next thing on the financial calendar to keep an eye on. How is that going to impact the markets and the perception of what's going to happen in the future? Alan Nuckman here at the CME Group, where it all comes back to commodities.